Well, how about some daily practices? Because obviously
Yes.
therapy has been a big one for you, but that may or may not be daily. But what are some daily practices someone could latch on to that's worked for you?
Yeah. So every day I wear this pendant on my, it's a compass. And that compass is a reminder that what is true north for me. So, like, path of least resistance. What do we have to do every day to make sure we set ourselves up for success? Also, on your phone, right? For those of you proper and you have an iPhone, and I know
Proper.
people with Androids are like, yeah, people with Androids are like, no, you can do that on Androids too, but like actually no one cares. But on your, I'm just kidding. On your phone, you can name your alarm clock, right? Most people use their phones as their alarm. So I name my alarm clock, and my alarm is it says I am a 9 and I deserve greatness. Now I'm not rating myself a 9. The 9 is my adverse childhood experiences score. So ACEs, something a lot of people don't know about. Highly recommend your people Google it, take it. It's 10 questions. It was done in the early 90s, 91. And it was a large epidemiological study that looked at the enduring effects of trauma in childhood, all prior to 18, how it affects public health into adulthood. So the highest score you can get is 10, which is not good. That's the worst. And I'm a 9. And so it's a reminder of like, hey, don't forget where you came from. Life was hard and you deserve greatness, but it's not just going to come find you. You got to go get it. So that's my first reminder of like, let's go attack the day. So my alarm goes off. I turn it off. I sit up. I breathe. I ground myself. 3 things every day. 3 questions every day to start my day, which is where am I? Because I'm on the road about 25 days a month with my company. I travel a lot and speak and train and keynote and seminars and everything. So I'm gone a lot. But so if I'm in a new city, if I'm in a hotel or whatever, so every day it's the same. Where am I? Why am I here? Who contributed to this day? And so that's just my grounding practice. That's what I call minimizing the sway, because the two most prevalent diagnoses in the world is anxiety and depression. And I'm not
Mhm.
minimizing the disorder, but anxiety is fear of a made up future. It's future tripping. Depression is you're stuck holding something in the past. I believe most people, their thoughts throughout the day, from when they wake up to when they fall asleep, most of their thinking ebbs and flows between future and past. And it's drama, it's stress. Worrying about stuff that's out of your control that may or may not happen, dwelling on something that's already done that you cannot change. And I call that the sway. And so how I minimize my sway is by doing those 3 questions. Where am I? Why am I here? Who contributed to this? And then I immediately go into my gratitude, which is 3 things in the last 24 hours. But here's the key: it can never repeat. It gets very hard because the first few days, it's like, I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my business. I'm grateful for my money. I'm grateful for my truck. But you're going to run out of things. Right. And so then it's like, wait a minute. Now you're sitting in this like meditative space thinking in the last 24 hours, like, what are 3 good things? Oh, when I went last night, I just went to the gas station and this guy held the door open for me. Something maybe I said thank you in the moment, but now I'm actually recalling it purposefully, setting a gratitude practice that I know is going to set my day up intentionally to be a better day. I see this as like filling my energy bar, um, because the moment I step into the world and my computers come on, I know that as I run a business that has 11 people, I've got, as I mentioned, 4 kids from 3 different women, um, either my kids, the kids' mothers, my business employees, somebody's going to need something. And it's constant. A client, right? A potential client, a prospect. So email is constant, calendar is constant. The need for me to do things is constant. And if I don't set myself up for success, then by midday, I'm already frustrated. I'm mad. I'm like irritated. And it's all because I didn't do the thing I know. Like, remind myself why I'm doing this. Like, this is a privilege, right? This is a privilege. And just because it came to mind, I want to share this with you is because in my world, I have met so many people that have become frustrated with people's problems. And it's a lot of P's, but what I tell people is if you get frustrated with people's problems, that's because you lost perspective. And people's problems are what give you permission to have your purpose. And you, Josh, as a business owner, again, like, you help high achievers, the fact that they have problems is what draws your purpose.
Yeah.
So when we get frustrated with their problems, it's like, well, what are you like? Talk about setting yourself up for failure. Like, I'm like, thank God people have these problems because we just happen to have the solution. And if I don't set myself up on purpose, I can find myself getting frustrated and really like dejected and kind of like lethargic, unplugged, irritable. And so that's my compass reminder. Alarm first, 3 stages of grounding, 3 things of gratitude, and that's just every single morning to set myself up for success. And then, there's things too, like when I'm home, because my wife and I aren't together a ton, but there's moments where, she'll do a 5-minute gratitude, and then we'll reflect, and she'll ask me a question, and like we'll connect through just like intentional like sharing of like what's happening in our world. And we really focus more on like the quality right now than the quantity, because it's just not there. It's the same with my kids, right? Like I don't see my kids every day, but when I do, I try to maximize it. We have real conversations. We're not just like checked out looking at screens, but it's like, hey, let's talk. Like, what's going on in your world? What are you excited about? What are you afraid of? Because I know that those conversations will last for them. They're meaningful to them. And hopefully it's going to be things they remember as they go through different seasons and challenges in their life. But it really is about, to bring this all home to your question, as much as possible, as someone that does have a family and runs a business, as much as I can possibly control, to stay grounded in the present. And what I mean by that is, like right now, Josh, this is the first time I've met you. You are the most important thing in my life right now, because you're the thing happening right now. Like I could stroke out and die as soon as we end this call. So it's not that my family's not important. It's just they come second to you because you're the thing in front of me. And I've
Yeah.
learned, I think this made me a really good cop, but whatever is happening right in front of me is the single most important thing to me. And that's not minimizing anything else, but it's like I've learned to focus completely on what's happening in the moment. That to me is the greatest barrier to getting into those dark moments of suicidal ideations, is when you can ground yourself in the present moment and then find something good in it, is the icing on the cake.